Should you invest in ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund or not? What's so special about this fund which follows value investing style, and what's in it for investor? We will try to cover everything in detail in this video. So let's start. First, we will look at the past 10 years absolute SIP returns of these mutual funds, and in this value fund category, ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has given the best performance in past 10 years in absolute SIP returns. Next, we are going to look at past 5 years absolute SIP returns of these mutual funds, and here also ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed as the best value fund in this value fund category. Next, we are going to look at past 3 years absolute SIP returns of these value funds, and here ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed as a third best value fund in this value fund category. So overall performance of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund in absolute SIP returns is like this. In 10 years it was on number 1, in 5 years it was on number 1, and in last 3 years it was on number 3. Next, we are going to look at past 10 years trailing year returns of these mutual funds, and here we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed the second best in this category. Next, we are going to look at past 5 years trailing year returns of these value funds, and here we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed best in this category in this 5-year trailing year returns. Next, we are going to look at past 3 years trailing year returns of these value funds, and here also we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as clear winner in this 3 years trailing year returns. So in trailing year returns, the performance of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund is like this. In past 10 years it was on number 2, in past 5 years it was on number 1, and in past 3 years it was on number 1. And next, we will see the annual returns of these mutual funds, and here in 2018 we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the 4th best performer in this category. In 2019, the performance of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund was not that satisfactory, but in 2020, ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the best performing fund in this category, and in 2021, ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed as the 4th best value fund in this category. And if we look at the 2022 annual returns of these value funds, ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the 2nd best performer in this category. And if we combine the annual return performance of all these years, ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the best fund out of these 14 value funds. Next, we will see the risk analysis of these value funds, and first parameter which we are going to discuss here is the standard deviation, which is lesser the better, and here we can see that in standard deviation ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed as the best fund in this value fund category. Next, in risk analysis we will look at beta, which is lesser the better, and here we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the 4th best performer in this beta. Next, in risk analysis we will look at Sharpe ratio, which is higher the better, and here we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has performed the best in Sharpe ratio. Next, in risk analysis we will see alpha, which tells us that how much excess return this fund has generated for its investors against its benchmark. This is higher the better, and here we can clearly see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the best fund in this category. Next, in risk analysis we will look at trainers ratio, and here ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund is the 2nd best performer in trainer ratio. So in all parameters of risk analysis, the performance of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund is like this. In standard deviation it is on number 1, beta number 4, Sharpe ratio number 1, alpha number 1, trainers ratio number 2. And if we combine all these parameters, then in risk adjusted return, ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund emerged as the best fund out of these 14 value funds. Next, we are going to look at past 10 years lump sum returns of these value funds, and here we can clearly see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund is the 2nd best performer in past 10 years lump sum returns. Next, we are going to look at past 5-year lump sum return of these value funds, and here we can see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has emerged as the best performer in past 5 years lump sum returns category. Next, we will see past 3 years lump sum returns of these value funds, and here we can clearly see that ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund has given the best in past 3 years lump sum returns. So the performance of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund in lump sum returns is like this. In last 10 years it was on number 2, in past 5 years it was on number 1, and in past 3 years it was on number 1. And here we can see the direct plan of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund, which is open-ended 10-year-old value fund. And you can start SIP in this mutual fund with just rupees 100. The asset under management of this mutual fund is 27,515 crore and the expense ratio of this mutual fund is 1.22%. Now let's see the ratings of ICICI Prudential Value Discovery Fund. Angel Spark ARQ has given 5 star to this mutual fund. Value Research has given 4 star to this mutual fund. CRISIL has given 4 star to this mutual fund, and Morningstar has given 4 star to this mutual fund. And from year 2011, this fund is managed by fund manager Mr. Shankar Narayan. And investing in this fund through Angel Spark ARQ is very simple. You just need to click on invest button, then enter the SIP or the lump sum amount and click on proceed button, and with the help of net banking, UPI and Google Pay, you can pay the desired amount and start your investment. And this is how this mutual fund is going to add great value in your investment portfolio in long term. If you like this video, do press the like button, and to receive more videos on investment like this, don't forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell notification for latest updates. And we will see you in our next video.